welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, and today I have my special co-host, my special buddy, Mike Lidskin. How are you doing?
Hey, good. How are you doing, Pam? Great to talk with you again.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a while. What, about a month?
Yeah, we did this a month. It was kind of a whirlwind. Last time you had me on 2 days in a row and then a month off, so I'm going to relearn how to do this today.
You'll be fine. You're so good at what you do. I have all the faith in you.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome. And you just recently went on a little mini tour of yourself, doing some interviews.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, I did a live event for the first time. My other radio show, Twirl Radio, did a thing called Twirl Radio Presents, and we did a live show in San Francisco with 4 bands I really love. And we were at 50 Mason Social House, which is a club right next to downtown, and we just had a fun rockin' evening. It was like from strength to strength. One band came on and did a phenomenal show. You wondered how the next band could follow that, but they somehow did. It was a great night, and I'm going to probably be doing that again in the fall sometime.
It sounds like fun. It's always nice to get out of the studio and do something live, I would suppose.
It really is, that live interaction. It's kind of taking your show to the people, and there's so many friends there. In fact, we had not only 4 bands, but we had a British humorist. He's known as the Bay Area Brit because he's from England originally, but lives in the San Francisco Bay Area. And so he did a routine, and he kind of made fun of the Twirly Awards that I do. And he said, "Okay, how many of you in this room have won a Twirly Award?" And I kid you not, like 15 people raised their hands. So I guess it was a friendly crowd.
Well, that's a good thing. Get your name out there. Get those Twirly Awards out there.
That's right. That's right.
People tune in more to find out exactly what that is. So that's pretty cool.
Exactly.
Well, I do believe we have our guests on the phone, so let me go ahead and pick those up.
Hello.
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 Everybody with us?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome.
Well, let me tell our listeners, today we welcome Grammy Award winner songwriter David Yaden and internationally known singer-songwriter Candace Devine, also known as the Bonnie-and-Clyde of pop.
Hello.
I love it.
I love that nickname. It must be because you have that killer instinct for writing good songs.
I'll take it. If that's the reason, I will take it.
I'll take it. I think maybe it's because we get into a lot of trouble, but, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's because we're a little spicy around the edges, but yes.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely piques people's interest to know what type of music you sing. It's a real good catchphrase.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it was one of our, I don't know, somebody who did an article on us or one of our fans, somebody made that comparison, and it stuck, so that was cool.
Well, before we get into everything that's going on now in your lives, I'd like to ask you both to let our listeners know how you got started in music and who and what inspired you.
Oh, wow.
Just really quick, do you mean individually or together?
Either or.
Okay. Well, I know that I have been singing out of the womb. I have many embarrassing videotapes of me singing at 3, 4, 5 years old, just belting my lungs out. I think it's my parents that told me that when I was in kindergarten, I forgot show and tell. I just decided to stand up and sing a Judy Garland song.
Aww.
So I think it just came innately from higher powers that be. So I just came out that way singing, and so that was kind of my start. As far as Dave, I know his mom was playing piano and singing when he was in the womb too. Dave, you could probably elaborate that on more.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't remember that part, but that is true. But yeah, there was a piano in my house growing up, and so I started playing stuff that I heard on the radio, and my mom tells a story that I can't remember of I guess we'd watched The Man from Snowy River, and I went over to the piano and figured it out. I know.
Sorry.
Candace is a horse girl, so that's a horse movie. But I figured it out, and she came in and said, "Oh, did your dad buy you sheet music for that, and this was when I was, I think, I don't know, 8 or 9, and I looked at her. She said I was very sarcastic. I was like, Mom, I figured it out by myself. So that's when she went to my father and said, maybe we should get this kid some lessons. Although I didn't really actually like lessons, but I kept on playing.
Well, how old were you when you actually started playing the piano? It sounds like you were pretty young.
About 8 or 9, somewhere around there. 9, 10 years old. Something. I can't exactly remember. I think it was somewhere between 8 and 10.
Wow. Well, some people are just born to be in music. You know, it's in their blood.
Yeah. We both feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else we would want to do or do as well. It's just one of those things that we're both, born to do, I guess. So that says it all, really.
Well, yeah, because, there's a lot of us when we're younger, even with my children. My daughter is one of them. I want to be a star. I want to be a singer. I want to do this. And, and then you get a little bit older and things change. And I think if it's truly in your blood and your soul, then you just continue on that way. And that sounds like what you both did.
Yeah. Definitely. I think both of us, from a young age on, always loved music, always wanted to do music, and it just never faded or dwindled, and with different, trials or tribulations along the way, it just never was something that was an option to quit. So.
Wow,
Did you both perform in school?
What?
Did you both perform in school?
Oh, yeah. Everyone's this way.
I did a couple talent shows and stuff like that, but I sang in the choir, and I was in drama, but I guess also I guess sure.
Dave, I was like, you're basically like, I was in every performing art in my school, so yes, I guess so.
Well, I was thinking I played more outside of the school than in the school. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Now, where are you guys both from originally?
I am from
Burbank, California.
Beautiful downtown Burbank.
Hey, that's where I was born. I was born at St. Joseph's Hospital in Burbank.
Me too. Welcome, friend.
Yes, exactly. I was probably born in the older wing, probably several years before you, but yes.
Well, we're a part of the handful of natives, so I wear that badge with pride.
Same here. And I did a little poking on your Facebook page, and we have something else in common. You and I both went to CSUN.
Oh, yeah?
Cal State Northridge,
Rock on.
Alumni,
absolutely. I had started at San Francisco State, and then I started getting a lot of professional singing work in Los Angeles, so it was just not turning into a reasonable commute. So then I transferred to Northridge, and I finished there. So, it was a great school. I had a great time there.
And they have a pretty noteworthy music department, as I recall.
They do. I was in their theater department for school, but I definitely took full advantage of their music department and sang over there quite often.
Oh, very good. Well, you're definitely wise to go to L.A. if you want to remain in music. I'm in Northern California now, but the scene is all where you guys are.
Yeah.
And David, where are you from originally?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Oh. I don't have any college stories from Houston. Sorry.
It's all right. I don't have many.
I have none to share with any of you because I'm from Chicago.
Nice people.
I don't have any
Chicago,
college
though.
stories from Houston either. I went to college in L.A., so I left Houston pretty young.
Oh, okay.
It was a great place to grow up. I mean, I kind of had actually what I thought of as a very normal upbringing, and then I moved out of Texas and realized that it was a very normal Texas upbringing. Meaning that I grew up riding horses and doing cowboy stuff as a kid. We were just in a rural part of Houston, Texas. It was a great place to grow up.
That's pretty cool. Was there music all around you?
Houston is there's an art scene in Houston, but it's in it's in downtown. It's not out where I was. But both of my parents were they played instruments and sung and they listened to music, and we would go downtown to listen to actually a lot of classical productions, full orchestras and stuff like that. So I got exposed to a lot of music, but I wouldn't necessarily call Houston a music town.
Gotcha.
Well, you were both successful on your own, so how did you end up together?
We met through a mutual friend named Bob Leggett, who I was getting ready to write for my second solo album, and he had said, listen, if you want to write with some folks in town, there's this amazing songwriter named David Yaden. And so he was the one that actually pointed me in Dave's direction, and I went to see him play at the Hotel Cafe on his own EP release night. And I marched myself up to him and said, my name is Candace Devine, and we could write together, and he promptly dismissed me and went, okay, bye. And so it all began there. It all began there.
But you managed to turn it around somehow.
Yeah, you would love to be able to turn it around, but that's actually the truth. He just was very, he didn't know who I was. I assumed that, the introduction, he would have already known that I was coming to a show because our mutual friend was like, oh, you two should meet. So I figured he would know that I was coming, or at least know who I was, or would have heard of the fact that maybe we should write together. But he was completely in the dark about this meeting, so I was the only one who knew that this introduction had been set.
Bob probably told me, and I probably forgot.
That sounds like you.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But no, I was laughing the other day. Our agent was saying to us, because I was talking to somebody that got me all pissed off, which is it's pretty easy to do, to be honest. And our agent was like, look, everybody that works with you guys, I don't want anyone to have anything bad to say. You gotta be nice. You gotta don't be. You don't always have to.
Well, just let them talk to Candace.
Yes, I did say that. I was like, well, can they talk to Candace instead then? But so the funny thing is that our initial meeting, actually, I was being the jerk that I usually am, and now I have to hear those stories for the rest of my life, and I deserve it.
Oh.
But
he was very unimpressed by me, and then his brother was the one that was like, hey, I talked to the Candace Devine girl. She seems awesome. You really should work with her. And then he was like, geez, my brother never says stuff like that, so I better go check out her music. And then he heard me sing, and then he was like, well, she actually has talent. I better go be nice.
Time to eat crow.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Right, exactly.
And then the very first song we ever wrote to. Oh, wait, what?
You guys, I have to tell you something funny. I'm sitting on the side of the freeway because my car is so loud that I had to pull over so that you guys wouldn't hear all the car noise. And I have to. This guy is walking up, and he's so nice, and I have to tell him that I don't need a tow truck. Hold on, I'm sorry. Just so you know. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hey, man.
Oh my gosh,
you're so
baby.
good for pulling over. I'm good, man. I was just on the phone. Yes, sir.
Hey, no problem. I just want to check to make sure you're okay, man.
Thank you so much.
What a nice man.
That's a first.
Okay,
this is live radio, folks.
So let me get out of the way first for you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
What a nice man.
Now, in all my years of radio, that particular thing's never happened to me before. That's pretty cool, live radio.
Well, and I have to say that I've had it. I've had that happen where I'm doing an interview with somebody that's sitting in their car quite a few times. And they're all in California.
Yeah.
Our culture out here.
Well, the thing was is that I was driving along and I was listening to y'all because, you picked up and started the show and I could hear my car and I was like, man, I don't want to be that guy that's got so much interference. And so I just pulled over, but I pulled over on the side of the freeway. So I'm gonna pull over onto an actual side street. That guy was so nice.